confidence in it, and how much of it is the coaching staff, open it up for you to say, hey, look, if you see a matchup, try to make something happen out there?
Yeah, I say a little bit of both. I feel like I'm just reading it when again, credit to my guards and the guys coming off the handoffs, they draw a lot of attention. So a lot of times when I see that big start to look, or then I know I can probably get one. But yeah, a little bit of both, I'd say.
And then obviously, early on it was more off the wing. It seems like now you're doing square straight up at the basket. So what's maybe the different visually on how you go about making a move on the wing as opposed to the top?
Yeah, I think it's more just out the play call. Like usually, right now we're running a lot of zoom with Book, and Colin was out and JG's out, so we're not running as much pick and roll. And also the Nets and Heat switched a lot of stuff, so that's part of it as well. So it's just like the matchup, the coverage I'm playing against. It just kind of changes based on the game.
Also, you mentioned y'all playing out of zoom a little bit more this week. I feel like one of the hardest skills, especially for these, is when you get to the handoff and then you're trying to set the screen as well. I feel like with you always cut that thing down, like taking that dribble towards the person you're doing the handoff to. Like that skill, like how do you develop that? Because that's something that's just not easy to apply.
Yeah, I think number one stems off of ball handling. I think the more comfortable you are with the ball in your hands, then you can change where you are on the floor. But if you're not comfortable, then the defense kind of dictates where you go. Like credit to the Pistons, last time we played them, they did a really good job pressuring me and Mark when we had the ball. So I'd say definitely being comfortable handling it, and then taking as much space as you can, and then getting the ball out quick so that you can get set and not get a moving screen.
And on the defensive end, obviously when you on the court, you do a lot more switching. With Goody, usually is the one that's switching with you. Having a guard that you know can hold up against opposing fives, how much confidence does that give you to apply more pressure on the ball?
Yeah, for sure. He's usually good down there, so I know that when I switch, it's not going to be a mismatch either way. I can jump out there, be aggressive. But we got a lot of guys on this team like that want to switch and aren't scared of it. Book, Dylan, like those guys don't care about bigs either. So it's great having guys like that can do that with me.
We see with the switching, the last part of it, you go switch on the perimeter. A lot of times you're able to also get back and get on the glass too. That kind of helps you get back in the transition. How are you seeing those type of multiple efforts from you and the other guys doing the team to keep your defense solid in their transition?
Yeah, for sure. Every defense has its strengths and weaknesses, and obviously for switching, it's really good keeping stuff on the perimeter, but then there's a lot of shots and a lot of offensive rebounds. So I think to make switching viable, you gotta make that multiple effort to get back into play. So trying to do that, just trying to play as hard as I can.
How much do you think you and Mark are kind of benefiting from each other? I mean, you guys come in, have different shifts, but you all do different things well.
Yeah. I think we're so different that it's like, it just kind of changes the game when one of us comes in and kind of keeps the other team on their toes a little bit. Mark, he protects the rim at a high level. I can guard on the perimeter at a high level. And I think just having the ability to go back and forth between the both of us gives coach a lot of options. So, and then the last piece, I think we're both great teammates, and there's never a reaction, or whoever finishes the game or whoever's in for long stretches, like there's never any animosity or anything like that. So credit to Mark and just how good of a teammate he is, and yeah, I love being his teammate.
And you had that great connection with Ryan, obviously coming together last year. I talked to him yesterday about he feels like he's having more opportunities to make advantages out of the short roll and the screening angles. Just has that something you've talked about with him since you were so close and you practiced with him?
I mean, I've talked to him, but he just has a great feel about it. He has a really good floater, and he's a good pocket playmaker as well. So I think just his size in that pocket gives him a lot of abilities, and then obviously he can attack the rim at a high level too. So I think the more we get him there, the more effective he can be.
Matchup tonight against the Pistons, they play a really physical, tough defense over there. What's the key to matching up with them offensively, especially without some of the key ball?
Yeah, I think one, just being aggressive. They're going to pressure the ball and deny a lot off the ball. So attacking that pressure as much as I can, being strong with the ball, and then obviously they get on the offensive glass at a high level. We got to match that. We got to make them work on the defensive end too. So I don't know what we are in offensive rebounding right now, but I think we're getting a lot back as well. So making them work on both sides of the ball.
When you play against a physical team like Detroit, how do you sort of walk the fine line between embracing that physicality and not letting things go over the edge?
Yeah, that's a good question. Game tonight, you never want to give the other team any fuel. But I think definitely just you never want to get punked. You just got to match physicality with physicality, force with force. And obviously some guys are going to do what they do, crossing the line or whatnot, but you just got to stay true to who you are. And I think at the same time, you can't ever get punked on the floor, because as soon as you let someone do that, then they have an advantage over you. So I think we can still be true to our identity and not go over the line, but we're never going to let anyone push us around. So.
I wanted to ask back to the handoffs again. Sometimes with the handoffs, it's like a literal handoff, and then other times it's kind of a pitch or throw into it. As far as when you're in that situation, what kind of goes into that decision? What are you reading that makes you go that way?
Yeah. Honestly, I'd rather pitch it every time, get the ball out of my hands and set a good screen. But it really just depends. A lot of guards are super physical with our ball handlers and attach their body, so I won't feel comfortable pitching it a long distance because it's easier to get a hand on it. So it's more out of safety. Like if they're super aggressive, I'm gonna put it out there so only my guard can get it. But if we have an advantage, I'm gonna get it out of my hands, get a good hit, and then put my head on the rim. So that's really the read there.
I know Cullen's making his way back, but just it seems like you two have that cohesion with that. I don't know if it's like a chase or a get action, but like just what can you say about the way you two have developed that just this year, last couple of years?
Man, just a lot of play group last year, just putting our head down and working together. We attacked every stay ready game or play group scrimmage when we weren't in the rotation. We attacked it and went after every time we're on the floor together. And I think us putting that time in together really helped us build that chemistry, and then it carried over into the summer and pick up. And now in the game, it's just natural. I know what he's doing. I'm going to flip screens. I'm going to drop it. He's going to screen for me. So now we just have such a great chemistry off of that investment we made when we weren't in the rotation. So super grateful that he pushed me and I pushed him, and we had that time together last year.
Thanks, Oso.
Yeah.
Thanks, Oso. Appreciate it.